Alrighty, so we are finally starting to get over this news and speculation period for Dokkan's 10th anniversary, and with that being said, we are looking at the update to the anniversary stream. We have two major things to go over for today's video, and that is sort of going to be the end of week news portion of what we are doing here. So if you guys are out of the loop and maybe this is your first time watching an anniversary speculation video, originally you guys could see on the tweet here, they were scheduled to do something at Dragon Ball Battle Hour, or Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour over in Los Angeles tomorrow, as well as Sunday, right? The 18th and the 19th. This was going to be like a big showcase for all the Dragon Ball games, right? We're looking at stuff for like Sparking Zero, Dokkan, Legends. I'm pretty sure any of like the major Dragon Ball IP games. I'm pretty sure they're going to do something for like that new card game that's coming out and stuff like that. Basically anything that you could think for Dragon Ball games, there's going to be like a segment there, and that usually would lead to pretty fun things being revealed, and usually games like Dokkan and Legends would have their own like big panels, and this is where big things have been announced, right? We look back, I believe LF Rosé was announced at a Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour years ago. This year, or in 2024, LF Super 17 was announced for Dokkan, or for Legends, right? And during Battle Hour, and then other times Dokkan, what they tend to do with their format is they'll be like, yo, we got something going on, we can't really talk about it right now, but just know we're going to have our own broadcast coming up, like, you know, in next week or in the next upcoming days. But now that we've explained what Battle Hour is, unfortunately, that event has been canceled, and unfortunately that is due to the situation in California right now with wildfires being spread. So, you know, again, like I mentioned in the video before, if you know somebody around that area, wish them well, all of that stuff. But unfortunately, that did cancel the Battle Hour, so that means that they had to reschedule it. And if you see here, that means due to the cancellation of Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour, we're having an impromptu broadcast live. Get the latest 10th anniversary info, and it will be on YouTube tomorrow. From when I am recording this video, it is currently 7:49 a.m. So it's going to be at 6 o'clock PST, 6 p.m. PST, so 9 p.m. PST, or EST. So that's going to be roughly what, 37 hours from now, from when I'm recording this video, and then about, math is hard, about 33 hours from when the video is uploaded. So 9 p.m. EST tomorrow on the 18th, we are going to get anniversary stuff. So you can look forward to me live streaming that and all of those fun things. It'll be a good time. We all get to have a great time. We get to chill out, look at whatever they're going to do. We're going to react to it together. So I'm looking forward to doing that. But something else that we have, right? I think that with this, not too much is going to change, right? I think all they really need to do is just kind of, I think it'll be like Omatsu and somebody else, and they'll just, or probably Omatsu and Ken, right? They'll probably be like, you know, here's the arts, here's, like, maybe we don't get the animations just yet, but we probably get the character reveals and then maybe the arts, so we kind of have an idea of what's going on. And we're only going to be a few days out from the anniversary officially starting. So a lot of different things going on there, but let's go ahead and move on to sort of the fun stuff for today's video. And that is going to be a preview of Dokkan 2, if you will. Now, I'm back on the 2 monitor setup here finally, so we can full screen this, right? Something's going by. How do we gotta zoom this out a little bit. Let's do something like this. Honestly, we'll just watch it like this. It's fine. So this is going to be a preview for the new UI in the game, and I think this is pretty significant because this is going to answer a lot of our questions about how it's going to look going into it. So I'm going to make sure you can't hear that, so it's not too loud, but let's go ahead and take a look. So we have, let me zoom in a little bit here for you guys. This is what the new UI is going to look like, right? This is pretty important stuff. So loading up right here, we have the passive skill and things moving, and all right, we got to pause it, right? So this is how things are going to be looking. You guys can see it says the attack stat right here, and is it going to flash the defensive stat? Attack, is it going to flash defense, or is it just going to stay attack? It looks like it's going to just stay on the attack side of things. Okay, that is good to know. Orb collecting looks very similar, but there is a bit of an animation. Is that based on the color? So if he goes for a red orb right here, or the STR orb, he's going to flash red, right? Yeah, sort of. Yeah, so the animation, I just want to replay this. That looks a whole lot better. Like, collecting orbs, look at how different this looks. Like, look how, like, the orb explodes, right? That looks really good. Okay, that's pretty cool. Nice. So you guys can see things are different where the turn counter is up on the top right. And now we are going to be getting updates to the normal attack animations. We've looked at this before. Very similar still, but still a pretty significant difference, right? Like those are how like the blasts typically look, but they just overall look better. Now, the attack being there on the side is interesting for the super attack. There's the new damage with the KO. So that's pretty cool stuff. And I'm imagining that, yeah, that's basically exactly the same. That was new Goku on the Nimbus. And how is the clear screen going to look? I think that'll be interesting to see. Okay, the background has changed. I wonder if that's going to be the background from the fight every single time, right? So like, let's just say so everything aside from the background on your screen right now basically looks the same. The number looks a little bit different. When you play this game so much, you notice these little minor differences, but that is pretty cool. So if we kind of slow this down a bit and we go back, right off the bat, what really stands out to me is the way the orbs look so like you can tell the difference, right? Like Dokkan, when you play Dokkan normally, the orbs do not look like that, right? So like, we could just kind of break this down like right from the start, right? So the first major difference, you guys know that passive skills do not look like this, right? It's a lot more condensed. It usually just shows the name of the passive skill, but now we can see that there's passive skill right on the top, and then there's also effects. So you can see that Gohan and Piccolo, they have increased attack, increased defense, extra, it's like key up, right? Critical chance. That symbol is really small. It's kind of tough to tell what that is. Like this flurry right here, I don't know what that is. Is this this is orb changing, if I'm not mistaken, right? And then we have damage reduction. I'm having trouble telling what this symbol is right here where my cursor's at. Because only Yamcha and Piccolo have it, and then Chaozu doesn't. But so now, what'll make things easier is we can see start of turn buffs going into the turn, right? So, you know, sometimes it can be a little bit confusing when like the start of a passive, when you're reading like a kit breakdown, it'll just say like attack and defense plus 200%, right? That's what that is right there. So attack and defense are both up, and then we kind of see other things moving on. So passive skill, I think this looks way better with the way that like it signifies it being, you know, the blue signifies it's you. And then I don't remember if it showed enemy skill, but let's go ahead and look at that now. So if we press this right here, no, so yeah, right there, right? This is something that I've been harping on like hard. Right there. So that's the orb changing effect, right? Like you can definitely tell that looks way different. Usually they just change in color, and now like the whole screen is being changed when the orbs are changing to physical, right? So this will look different when it's an orb changer. This is just because Chaozu changes things to physical orbs, right? So that is pretty cool. And now we can kind of see that, right? Now, when we move sprites, Chaozu does not have a dynamic sprite yet, but we've seen dynamic sprites in previous updates. So if this would have been like the Kid Goku and then the Super Saiyan Goku that we saw from the earlier update, we would have known that because, you know, Super Saiyan Goku transforms into a Super Saiyan, Kid Goku spins the power pole, right? Stuff that we've seen before in previous updates, but now we are kind of seeing it in real time and how it's going to move. We haven't seen every mechanic yet in terms of like on this Dokkan 2.0 sort of update, but that is pretty major. So let's go ahead and continue to break this down side by side. Now changing this, nothing really too different in terms of the characters changing. I wish this would have flashed to defense. Because like the idea that this can't just say like ATK and then DEF and then defense down here, like that would be super nice, right? Because, you know, we can know what average like defense is after super just from based on calculations, but the Dokkan just can't assume that everybody's on Twitter looking at like situational calculations, right? And watching videos on calculation. So I think that would have been nice, and maybe in the future that does get added, but I do think this is a step in the right direction, right? Being able to see stats. I don't think we need to see individual unit HP, because honestly, it doesn't matter what the HP of the individual unit is. It's just the combined thing, obviously. So don't really need that, but that is pretty interesting. And then we already kind of talked about this. I'll let this kind of run a bit. We had the orb animation. When you go to get animations, he looks like he turns into like, it looks a lot better, right? So overall quality, I think, is much better. I don't know how I feel about these new numbers. I will say, like, that doesn't look bad, but it's just very weird. We'll just go back like one more time, right? The damage to you, right? That is definitely weird looking, right? Just because we're so used to sort of how it works in the past, right? I think that the animation of the number looks better, but again, I'm just so used to the traditional format for the numbers that it's going to take a little bit of adjustment, I think. But I do like sort of the direction that this is headed, right? I like the new turns thing being up here. I think the information is a little bit more condensed, right? And things look a little bit nicer. Again, it is a bit weird because, again, we've literally been playing Dokkan the same way for 10 years in terms of like how the game looks, right? Enemy HP bars, your own HP bar, all that, but minus like little tweaks, right? Like the Dokkan bar has gotten smaller over the years, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, they added a little section for auto mode. The game has seen minor tweaks, but nothing like this. So let's let this play out one more time to finish up this video, and that will wrap up the weekly sort of end of week pre-anniversary news here. We could finally almost be done with speculating on who the characters are going to be, what the actual theme's going to be. We've talked about all of that in the past already. We've looked at the Goku and Vegeta story red zones and all of that other fun stuff. So let me know down below what you guys think. Are you excited for the stream tomorrow with the hopeful reveals of, you know, in an ideal world, we get almost everything, but I wouldn't bank on it. I would assume that we are going to be still missing a few key things, but let me know what you guys think down below. If you did enjoy today's video, don't forget to leave a like if you did, and subscribe if you were new so you don't miss out on any more Dokkan news in the future. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.